Hi, this is Data Analysis and Policy Show, and in this show, I'm going to talk to you about why do you struggle with data. The 5 reasons why you struggle with data. So, if you are a policy advisor in one of the Eastern Caribbean islands or Dutch Caribbean islands, or if you are a business owner that you want to do your projects, then stay with me because I'm going to give you the 5 reasons why you struggle with data. Hi, this is Rooney Camara, and as you know, every Friday at 4 o'clock I bring you data and how to turn that data into analysis so that you can create the right policy. And whether you are a policy maker, a policy advisor, or in one of the Eastern Caribbean or Dutch Caribbean islands, that you need to create policy, or you might be an investor. You might be an investor in the Eastern Caribbean or the Dutch Caribbean that need to create your investment policy, or whether you are a business owner in the Eastern Caribbean and the Dutch Caribbean, you need to create the right investment policy. Then this episode is for you. So today we're going to talk about the 5 reasons why you struggle with data. Let me give you right away, I'm going to give you some examples. So most of the time when I work with policy advisors, or I work with business owners, or I work with investors, and what is the typical situation that I get regarding data? And then you can type below if you are one of those persons. Data is scattered all over the place. So that's the reason number 1 why you struggle with data. Data is scattered all over the place. You have many spreadsheets with all kinds of data, all data in several spreadsheets. So imagine, for instance, let me take a couple of examples. You are a policy advisor on a Ministry of Economic Affairs and one of the 8 Eastern Caribbean islands or one of the 2 Dutch Caribbean islands. How many spreadsheets do you have? How many spreadsheets do you have with all that data? Data scattered all the place. How many do you have? If you are a business owner, you have your data for your business, of course, but you have data and you are a business owner trying to make a business in one of the Eastern Caribbean islands. What kind of data do you have about those islands? 8 islands. What kind of data? Maybe the data is scattered all around the place. Or you are an investor. You want to invest in the Eastern Caribbean or from the Eastern Caribbean. How many spreadsheets do you have? That's the number one reason why you struggle. Number 1, data scattered all over the place. And the reason why is that is because once data is scattered all over the place and you need to make a decision, you make a lot of errors. You make a lot of errors because where is the data? What is the status of the data? What is the kind of data? So in pressure, when you need to make a decision, you will look at all those spreadsheets and try to make something out of it. Data is scattered all over the place. That's reason number 1. Reason number 2, there is no difference between raw data and calculated data. What do I mean? Give another example. If you are a policy maker, a policy advisor on a Ministry of Economic Affairs, and you don't know what is the original data, the raw data, or what kind of calculations have you performed on it. Have you divided the data? Have you deflated it with inflation? Have you put what is the raw data and what is the data that you changed? That's the reason number 1. If you are an investor, you need raw data, maybe data about the companies that you are investing in. Those are the data that you get, and then your own calculations. There needs to be a difference, a separation between the raw data and the data that you changed. The data that you changed. That's reason number 2 why you struggle with data. Because Once those two things are combined and you don't know what your own calculations are versus the raw data, then you're going to make mistakes. You're going to make mistakes because you don't know what you have performed, what you have done. So there's a reason. Reason number 3, why you struggle with data. And you can give me more reasons. If you have more reasons below, tell me below. Reason number 3 in my 23 years career, reason number 3 why you struggle with data is definitions. What are definitions of data? There is no difference between your definitions of data and your assumptions. Let me give you another example. If you are a policy advisor and the definition of GDP, of gross domestic product, is exports plus consumption plus import plus investments plus the government consumption minus imports. That's the definition. That definition is true for all the islands in the world, all the islands in the Caribbean. It is true for all the countries in the world. So that definition holds everywhere. But if you say only 10% of the profit is going to be invested, 10% of the profit of the businesses is going to be invested. You are trying to create an investment function. Then that is just an assumption. So you need a way to separate a definition that holds always, that's always true, and your assumptions. If you are an investor, for instance, a definition is the sales is number of customers times the price. That's a definition. It holds all the place. It holds all over the world because that's the definition of sales. But if you are saying I invest only when something is higher than 20% return, that's your assumption, you see? So you need to find a way to have the definitions, things that are true all over the place, automatically calculated in your models versus your assumptions. When I look at your spreadsheet and I don't see a way where you can list the assumptions regarding your data versus the definitions, then I know for sure that I am troubled. I know for sure that you're going to struggle a lot. So tell me below, in your spreadsheets, do you have definitions together with your assumptions all over the place? Number four, the reason why you struggle with data. The reason why you struggle with data, a lot of people in my 23 years career experience working with business owner, working with policy makers, working with investors, people do not know what the source of the data is. If you don't know what the source of the data is, where to find the data, then for instance you're going to get data from 2000 till 2018, and now in 2019 you don't know where to get that source data. You need to have a system where you know exactly where that data is coming from. Is the data coming from the central bank? Is the data coming from the Central Bureau of Statistics? Is the data coming from your system? Is the data coming from the Tourism Bureau? Is the data coming from the government, the Ministry of Finance? Where is the data coming from? That's why a lot of people struggle with data. Imagine you are a policy advisor and you are in front of the minister and you are delivering a speech and you are presenting a graph and you don't know where that data comes from. Immediately you struggle because that all the audience will say, hey, I don't believe this data. Where's the data? Maybe you imagine that data. So having a way to have the data structured is a great way. You need to have the sources in there. If you are an investor, imagine you are an investor and you try to find to have a loan to make that investment, and you go into the bank, and the bank says, what is the source of that data? And you don't know clearly what the source is, which data you made yourself, which assumptions you made yourself, and which data is just coming from an official source. Like you're working with the tourism data, and the tourism data is you don't know where that data come from. You can't say, hey, that data is from the ministry, from the tourism bureau. You see? So that's one of the reasons why people struggle with data. Let me put this away. Close. That's the reason why people struggle with data. And maybe I'm a little bit frozen, but if I'm frozen, next week we will solve that problem, because these shows are giving me so much video, etc., that my memory is a little bit my memory needs to be upgraded. So I'm giving you some information. Let me see, free up. Yes. So that's one of the reasons why you struggle with data. Now, and let me give you reason number 5. Reason number 5, you don't have a framework for working with your data. Now, that's those are the main things. So 5 reasons why you struggle with data. Now, if you struggle with data, that means you cannot make the right decisions. That makes you will make errors. You understand? You will make errors when you struggle with data. Let me see. You're making errors when you struggle with data. Another thing that can happen. Let me see. Another thing that can happen. A lot of things are opening here. Another thing that can happen is another thing that can happen is you cannot present your data correctly. You make wrong decisions. You understand? So all those things can mean that I'm having a lot of things opening here. All those things means that you will see a lot of errors. You understand? You will see a lot of errors in your analysis. You will see a lot of errors in your policy, in the decisions you make. Now, what I want to tell you is that I have solved that problem. For all the islands in the Eastern Caribbean, I have created a system, and that system, I will be teaching that system next week. So when you're looking at this, if you're looking at this, please like this video. Please comment below that you want to be invited to that session, because I'm teaching that system next week. I'm going to show you how you can solve these 5 problems. Okay, so these are the 5 problems, how you can solve these 5 problems. I'm going to show you how I did it. And it's going to be a 1-hour workshop, and during that 1-hour workshop, I need to put that workshop, but you need to like this page. You need to comment below that you want this workshop. So comment below workshop, and also like this page, and also you need to onboard to my community. And how do you onboard? You onboard by clicking on the message tab, and when you click on the message tab, Anna, my chatbot assistant, is going to onboard you. She's going to onboard you for free, but all those people that are onboarded will receive an invitation to that workshop. So if you're struggling with data and you have like these 5 problems that you struggle with, if you're struggling with data and you have these 5 problems that you struggle with, then you really need to be in that workshop. Now the workshop is free, but in the workshop I'm going to also make you an offer how that you can get the system. So I'm going to show you the system, but I'm also going to give you an offer how you can get that system from me completely, and then how you can use that. And that system can be used for any island in the Caribbean and any country. Actually, it works for any country, and it's a very efficient system. I have put a lot of time creating that, and I have created that system for 10 islands in the Caribbean. Those are the Eastern Caribbean, the 8 islands of the Eastern Caribbean, the Curacao and St. Martin. So all the 8 islands of the Eastern Caribbean, we can use that system. And imagine if you are looking at one of at a show, and you are from another island. You are from Belize, or Dominican Republic, from Haiti. Maybe you are from Colombia. It doesn't need to be an island, but if you are in Singapore, whatever, then this system can be working. This system is going to give you really benefit solving the 5 problems that we have. And the system is going to show you also to have all the indicators on an island or on a country, so that you can make your decisions. Imagine you are in St. Lucia, or you are in Curacao, or you are on Aruba, or you are on Haiti, or you are on Dominican Republic, and you need to have all the relevant indicators of that country or island to make your policy if you are a policy advisor, or to make a decision if you are a business owner, or to make a decision if you are an investor. That is going to help you. So what I want you to do is click below and say workshop. Click below and type workshop, and like the page, like this page, and also click and on a message, and a chat box is going to open, a message window is going to open, and then Anna, my digital chatbot, will ask you a couple of questions, and then will onboard you for free. It doesn't take a lot of time. Maybe it takes 3 minutes. Onboard you for free in my community, and then once you are in my community, you will receive an invitation. So that's it for this time. This was Data Analysis and Policy Show. Maybe you saw a little bit video, but we still continue. The show must go on. And by next week, this little glitch in my life will be solved, and it will be solved because then I have more memory for my computer and for my system. So that was it. This was Data Analysis and Policy Show, and I talked about the 5 main reasons why you struggle. So tell me below, what do you struggle with? Maybe I didn't, I don't know what your reasons are for struggling. Maybe you have other reasons. Just tell me below, what do you struggle with regarding data. So comment below, and I will answer any questions you have. See you next week. Bye.